Hello and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Today's video going to be a wee post-match review of Ross County against Celtic yesterday on a freezing cold Saturday late morning in Dingwall. Pitch looked rather dodgy, rather bobbly, rutted, a little bit frosty or snowy on top. But according to people who were there, the pitch itself was quite soft and muddy, but certainly not a pitch that was easy to play on. Ross County battled very hard, but Celtic in the end were just too good for them, running out 4-1 winners with 2 added time goals, making things secure, and Celtic sit 18 points clear at the top of the table and go into the game against Dundee away on Tuesday evening with quite a number of options depending on how well Palma, Maeda and Kuhn return from their various issues that kept them out yesterday's game. Today's video is going to include some stats, my own analysis of the goals, a wee little video highlights package of those goals and incidents, and my own personal ratings for the players. In the end, 4-1 win, I think, was a deserved win for Celtic. Wasn't easy. Ross County, as I said, did a very good job defending, hitting Celtic on the break, and for one wee short spell, Ross County did get a strong foothold in the game, and at that point they actually got their equaliser through the penalty kick. Looking back at the key incidents, the Ross County goalkeeper had some brilliant saves throughout the match. Great save from Alistair Johnston's back heel. Great save similarly from Ida and Kyogo. Double act, another shot by Kyogo, well saved by the goalie. However, in the end, Celtic couldn't be denied. Around about the 40th minute, lovely sweeping quick move from halfway, ball into Ida, clever layoff to McGregor, very quick pass out to Johnson. Johnson, a wonderful whipped ball right across the defenders, in between the goalie and the defenders. Kyogo timing his run perfectly, flicking the ball past the Ross County goalkeeper, 1-0 up. Celtic had another chance just before half-time to double the lead, but again, well saved by the goalie. At half-time, certainly Ross County did look like they went a wee bit more attacking and offensive, threw on a couple of their more attacking players. Celtic did have a couple of chances, couldn't put them away, and then round about the 60th minute, White of Ross County converted a penalty kick. I think in the end, no real debate, it was a penalty kick. Alistair Johnston had been a wee bit too far advanced, got slightly overcommitted, was working back, but couldn't quite get on the right side of Phillips, the Ross County attacker at the back post, and Johnson did barge him over. And in the interviews after the match, Johnson put his hand up and said, yep, it was a penalty kick. He made a mistake and the referee got things right. So Celtic 1-1. However, straight after that, Celtic got very much back on top. Some great play set up for the chances. Valley had a deflected shot, very well saved again by the goalkeeper. But in the end, the pressure got too much. Lovely quick throw by Valley. Arnie Engels battling to turn on the edge of the box, worked his way across the box edge. Lovely whipped in cross and brilliant run by Kyogo, met it full flush with his head. Very powerful header, which the goalie couldn't quite manage to palm away. So Celtic 2-1 up. Celtic kept the pressure up. Wonderful ball in from the right wing by Kyogo. Yang, great run using his pace to get in behind. The Ross County player on a couple of occasions did try to knock Yang over and got his leg across Yang in the process of Yang shooting. Completely knocked Yang off balance, taking him down. Referee initially didn't give a penalty kick. However, VAR did recommend him having a look, gave the penalty. Engels takes the penalty. The penalty was saved. However, the goalie was a good couple of metres off his line when the ball was kicked, so retaken. And this time around, Engels hit a perfect penalty the opposite way, right into the corner, 3-1 up. Celtic kept the pressure up, looking to get another goal to confirm things. Some actual great work by Yang in the defensive zone, re-won the ball, quickly got the ball out, kept his run going, received the pass, lovely little turn and pass into Johnny Kenny, who had a good competitive debut for Celtic, and the ball broke in the box to Luke McGowan, who very calmly slotted the ball away, 4-1 up, and well done Celtic. Three penalty incidents in the match that caused some debate. I don't think the first one with Hatate was a penalty. There was a little bit of contact. I think Hatate had already lost his footing partly due to the surface. Quite happy for that one not to be a penalty kick. As I said, I think the Alistair Johnston challenge on Phillips at the back post was a penalty kick. Certainly isn't a red card, as several ex-Rangers player pundits were screaming for. It's a mistimed challenge. No more than that. Finally, no debate for me regarding the penalty kick for Yang. I think the yellow card possibly a little bit harsh for White, the Ross County fullback. However, technically a yellow card is right in that situation. And despite the fact that quite a lot of the pundits around various different TV stations, radio stations, and websites are saying they don't think it was a penalty kick, even a non-football fan, Mrs. David 67, when she saw the replay live yesterday afternoon, she was convinced it was a penalty kick. And if she says something's true, it is definitely true. Moving on to the stats for the game. Celtic totally dominated all the stats, as would be expected in a 4-1 win, and as would be expected in this sort of game. Possession was 78-22 for Celtic. Shots were 27-6 for Celtic. Shots on goal 13 to 1. Off targets were 4 each. Blocked shots, 10 shots from Celtic were blocked by Ross County. 1 shot by Ross County was blocked by a Celtic player. Saves were 9 to the Ross County goalkeeper, and Kasper Schmeichel had no actual saves made. Touches in the box again shows Celtic's massive domination, 40-8 for Celtic, and corners a lot closer, 7-6. I did think Ross County slightly wasted their corner kicks when they did have that 5 minutes, 10 minutes where they were in the match 50-50. Also interesting to see Celtic had 90% accuracy of passes and twice as many forward passes as backward passes. So clearly, um, Celtic are looking to get that ball forward quicker and trying to make a forward pass rather than sidewards and backwards. And also, interestingly, 9 of Celtic's 27 shots came from outside the box. Another thing I think Celtic could exploit against teams defending deep against them is shots from outside the box. They don't always go in, but quite often they get blocked and deflected, breaking to a Celtic player or sending the goalkeeper the wrong way for a deflected goal. Finally, this wee section, my own ratings for the players. Gave Kasper Schmeichel 6.5, mostly because he only had one save to make, which was the penalty, and he had no chance with that. Given 7 for Alistair Johnston, 7 for Cameron Carter-Vickers, 7 for Austin Trusty, 7 for Alex Valley. Would have given Alistair Johnston a wee bit more, was it not for the penalty kick. I thought he of the two fullbacks was the most advanced, doing the most productive work in midfield and the final third. Although that's not to say that Valley didn't have a good game. I thought Valley showed all the kind of skills that we're expecting from him. Good defence, that wee bit extra height and pace compared to Taylor. Also, he had a couple of nice passes. He was involved in the setup for the second goal with his quick throw in, and he also had that shot on goal that was deflected and then well saved by the goalie. Trusty and Carter Vickers had a good job in central defence. Only once was there any kind of error by those two, and Austin Trusty showed incredible recovery speed to get back and pressurise the Ross County forward, which then caused the Ross County forward to send his shot well wide of the goal. Otherwise, I thought those two distributed the ball very well. They're very calm. What I also really love is the fact that Austin Trusty is very vocal, um, reorganising the players, getting them in the right position for passes, encouraging players to move, come towards them, etc. And I really do think it's a massive contrast when Carter Vickers plays with Scales compared to when Carter Vickers plays with Trusty. Much more communication with the back four when Trusty's in the team, much more interaction with the other Celtic players to ensure passes are going forwards and putting pressure on the other team. So, very impressive from Austin Trusty in that way. Moving into the midfielders, I gave Callum McGregor 7.5. I thought he had a good game, linked things up very nicely in midfield, good captain's performance, recycled the ball on a regular basis, some nice passes off and on throughout the game. Lovely pass out to Alistair Johnston for the first goal. And I thought Callum McGregor had one of his best games this year. Rio Tati, a bit disappointing. 6 for him. Didn't really do very much for Celtic in the game. Quite a few of his passes went astray, out of play. Nid nearly did get Celtic a penalty, although, as I said, I didn't think it was actually a penalty. But he did make a good run. Otherwise, his first half and early second half wasn't very productive, and so he ended up being subbed. Arne Engels, I thought he had a great game again. 8 out of 10 for him. Scored the penalty kick, set up the second goal, and was a strong presence in midfield, winning the ball back, breaking up play, and setting up the wide players and the strikers. So 8 for him. Adam Ida, I gave 6.5. Did have one shot on goal that was well saved by the goalie, was part of the setup for the first goal. Some nice linking up play and target man play up front, but it didn't look quite the threat I was expecting. And I think that's partly because he has been kind of in and out the side, on and off the subs bench. And I think it's a wee bit difficult to get the continuity that Kyogo has more than Ida, because Kyogo's getting much more minutes than Ida. Kyogo, 8.5 and man of the match. Scored 2 goals, part of the setup for the penalty kick. Very busy throughout the game. I liked the fact that he went out wide on the right, cut inside to be a more standard striker, then went back out on the right. a lot of movement, got himself involved much more than he usually does in the game. And I thought it was actually good indication that playing two up front with that second striker being quite a floating player would work well. Would work well also with Maeda, particularly. Would work potentially with Nicholas Kuhn as well, as that's also a role that Kuhn has played previously. And so I think it does actually give Brendan Rodgers more strings to his bow, more options, if he's looking to change tactics or change up the game late on, or give the other team different problems to solve in a game as a starting lineup. So food for thought for Rodgers there. Yang, I gave 7.5. I thought it's his best game I've seen him play for Celtic. He played well throughout the whole game, made one or two errors here and there, but then anybody who plays the game quickly and tries to dribble and beat players will make the odd error with passes, losing control, etc. Final ball still needs to be a wee bit better, however. He was part of the setup for the fourth goal. He got us the penalty for the third goal. He looked much more busy than before. He was right beside Kyogo for the first goal, and so if Kyogo had missed it, Yang was equally in and around the 6-yard box edge to tuck that one away. And I thought Yang, as I said, had a great game, looked much more confident, and I think once he gets his confidence, he's going to be a very good player for Celtic. And so well done to him. Gave 7 for Johnny Kenny and 7 for Luke McCowan. Luke McCowan scored a goal. Did have one or two nice wee touches otherwise, but he gets that wee extra half point or two for scoring the goal. Johnny Kenny, I thought he had a really good, impressive debut. Played 20-25 minutes with all that added time on at the end. Looked probably a wee bit more stronger and better as a target man than Ida had done. He did have a couple of chances at goal. One time very well defended by the Ross County player at the back post. Another time Kenny couldn't quite get the ball out from under his feet for the shot. And then also Kenny was set up by Yang. Ball then broke off Kenny to McCown for the fourth and final goal. One other sub came on was Liam Scales. Couldn't really understand why Scales came on for Valley late in the match. Turned out Scales had about 15 minutes to play with 5 minutes of normal time and 10-11 minutes of added time. I thought Scales looked rather shaky and dithery, like he wasn't very sure quite how he was supposed to be playing at left back. Gave him 5 out of 10. There were a couple of times that Scales gave the ball away, a couple of times he didn't present himself for a 1-2 pass with McGregor and Yang and Engels, and also on a couple of occasions when Scales was in the defensive zone, rather than clearing the ball away, a short pass putting his teammates under pressure, and so gave him 5 out of 10. In the end, it was a disappointing performance from him. You may have your own thoughts regarding your own ratings for the players, so do pop those into the comment section if you so wish. You may well also have your own thoughts regarding the game, so again, do pop those into the comment section, keeping things, if you can, pleasant, polite. Looking at the news sites this morning, no real news, as would often be expected on the weekend, as transfers and loans and deals, etc., tend to go quiet over the 2 weekend days. That finishes things off for today's video. We'll be doing daily videos throughout the rest of the month as the transfer window warms up. Just a wee polite suggestion, encouragement, if you are new to the channel, not yet subscribed, please do click that subscriber button. If you are already subscribed, but have some friends, family, etc., do pass on the details of the channel. Maybe they want to subscribe too. If you like the video, please do click that like button, and do feel free to pop your pleasant, polite debating points, opinions, thoughts regarding yesterday's match, the players, the tactics, and any other Celtic issues at the moment. And so until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.